Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the living world of darkness, New York, Vampire Edition, where this fine evening we have Victor Kirchler, a man that is not part of Clan Tremere, because, well, there are no Tremere in the city. Anyway, enough of that particular banter. Victor has been made aware of a particular annoyance. Some body parts and the like have surfaced. He does not know too many people in the city, sadly. So, the three people he does know, actually the four people that he knows and has a number of, and that are part of the kindred persuasion, will get a single text. Herr Saul would like to meet with you at your earliest convenience. It is regarding the latest spill on the east side of Manhattan. There are those that reply. Those that reply will get an address of a library, the Epiphany Library, on the east side of Manhattan, conveniently not too far from this particular spill. They will get the instruction to, when they arrive, talk to the tall blonde man at the front and tell them that you're meeting with Herr Saul, and then things will be taken care of. We'll take us to this particular scene now, with Saul pacing around a bit impatiently. It's not too far, not too long after dark, 10ish, 11ish, and he's just pacing around, tapping his cane ever so often, ever so slightly, waiting for people to hopefully finally show up.
Rose will she'll arrive at the Epiphany Library. It's kind of an area where she has never been before, so it takes her a while to actually find the right address. She she's dressed in her leather biker gear that she once got present from Mr. Green. And she will keep the helmet on as she will walk towards the library and knock on the door.
Actually, in front of the library, on the steps is like in the description, a tall, blonde man. You would guess Scandinavian, maybe German, who just looks at you for a brief moment.
Rose will incline her head and she'll address the man. Good night. I am meeting with Herr Sol.
Hmm, of course. Sol will be waiting for you on the second floor, a little bit at the end, on the Eastern European history.
Thank you very much. And Rose will walk on, enter the library, go to the second floor, Eastern European section.
Yes, and there you will see Saul pacing back and forth.
She'll look around for a moment to see if there is any security cameras that might be on. She She doesn't find anything. She takes off her helmet, and we'll see her correct characteristics, features. Sorry, English is difficult, you know.
Well, it's very difficult, yes.
It's very difficult, and she'll smile. She says, "Well, good evening, Herr Sol."
Oh, Fraulein Rosa, how are you? It's fine evening.
I am well. Please tell me,
Good.
you requested for us to meet here because of something you saw on the news.
Yes, yes, and some things that I have been hearing from my men on the ground.
I see.
But I have sent it to some other people as well. Hopefully more will come. I will give it 15 more minutes as it looks at his watch and like you can see he's not too keen on waiting, but oh, before I forget, oh, he looks over to his bag and gets out the book that he loaned from you, hands it back to you. I have read it 5, maybe 6 times already. Very compelling work.
Yes, they were first-hand experiences that my sire had with the fair folk.
Peculiar. Perhaps once I would like to meet them.
My sire? Or the Fae?
More the fair folk, but of course. I have no objection, although I probably will have a little bit of an objection with what you've told me. He might be of a different persuasion.
Yes, well, he was more involved in politics than I was at that time, but he went missing. So I don't think you'll actually meet him very soon.
Lady Sheridan will show up with Alex Dales. She'll have picked him up on the way there, rather than given him the directions, because it wasn't her thing to introduce to. So yeah, she'll pull up in her car, get out, wait for Alex to get out, then head up towards the door and stop at the gentleman. Herr Saul, please.
The man looks at you, looks at the creature next to you. Of course. Second floor in the Eastern European section.
Thank you. And she'll head in, presumably with Alex Dales in tow.
Yep. She'll follow around, or behind.
And yeah, when you make your way upstairs into the Epiphany Center, or Epiphany Library Center, and you might have to look around a little bit to find the Eastern European section, but yes, there it is. There he is, Victor, with Rose, actually.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Lady Sheridan. And we'll walk over to Lady Sheridan, take her hand, and give it a slight look up. Well, look down at the other I don't think we have met.
He takes off his hat and says, Alex Dales, and offers him his other hand. It is good to meet you, sir, Mr.
You can call me Saul. Uh, Alex will notice that Victor or Saul has a very thick accent, not from around here, and he'll shake your hand and please, please have a seat. We are waiting for perhaps others to arrive. I have sent this message to Tobias and Limey as well. Who knows? Perhaps they will arrive.
And Alex will motion to the table and look up at Lady Sheridan and Miss Rose. Please, ladies first.
And Sheridan will take a seat.
Rose will sit herself down as well.
Alex will go to what looks to be the shortest chair and climbs up into it.
Victor, for his part, is kind of pacing around a little bit impatiently, sort of waiting for others to potentially arrive. Well, after about 10 minutes or so of him walking around, well, I suppose no one else is coming.
Is Ghost not coming then?
I do have no idea who Ghost
No, I
is.
mean out of character, just because Lisa is there. I was wondering whether she...
Did you invite Ghost? Have you told her?
No, I would have told her. I would have given Ghost the actual directions, though.
Okay, well, in a minute then.
Okay.
As Victor is about ready to call off his guy at the front to tell him meeting's closed, and probably around that particular time, or a little bit after or before, Ghost will appear at the front. And for Ghost, pretty much the same thing as the rest of the people who've come in and out. You're sent to the second floor, Eastern European section, without too much of an well, anything.
So, I heard something about the sewers.
Yes, yes. Apparently there have been some body parts surfacing. Which is, well, not really a good thing, is it?
Well, that depends, I guess. Were they cut up? Were they eaten?
And did they have bite marks that might match these? And Lady Sheridan will take a couple of clicks on her phone and put it on the table. And there's a picture of someone's leg covered in bite marks of different sizes, which is weird.
As far as I know, it has not really been open information if they have been bitten. At that moment in time, Victor will get a particular phone call and he'll excuse himself from the group.
Feel free to roleplay amongst yourselves.
Sorry. I mean, 5 things at the same time. So it. Rose leans forward to check Sheridan's phone. Are these animal bites?
Yes.
Any idea what type of animal?
Well, some people thought it was a sewer crocodile. I think you can probably tell from these bites it wasn't a crocodile, because the bites are in varying different sizes, from basically a small dog to lion sized, but definitely not crocodile sized and shaped. And like I said, the weird thing is different sizes.
Well, it's interesting, but I fail to see where this is something of our concern. I mean, it's not that I'm not willing to help out, but...
Well, whatever caused this was living in the sewers.
Also, it's drawing attention to the sewer system, which could cause them to find a Nosferatu hole, which could possibly cause a masquerade breach.
I think they would be more likely to stumble upon a Nosferatu trap, but...
Well, that could be a problem too.
That too.
But what I don't get is how one thing caused lots of different sized bites.
If it was one thing.
I saw the video, it certainly looked like one shape.
There is a video.
There is a video.
I see.
It's not very good. It's quite dark. But you can just about make out a shape rather than shapes.
Maybe,
a large shape.
Maybe it's some sort of thing with a lot of mouths, because...
Which definitely doesn't sound natural.
Right. I have to say that I had recently run into a group of Garu, and the thing that they were fighting didn't look natural in any way, shape, or form.
At this moment in time...
So
perhaps it is something to do with them.
Victor will return to the table. It seems that...
But even if it is related to the Garu...
Very old.
That does mean... Right, Brown first.
No idea what you're talking about.
Okay.
There's There seems to be a latecomer. So,
Okay.
no idea who.
And Ghost appears, and she just sort of wanders into the room, into the middle of the conversation, like no fucks were given on that day. And she's got her sunglasses on, and there's a half-smoked, half-lit cigarette in her mouth, and she just sort of looks at everyone, nods, looks at Lady Sheridan, gives her a little smirk, and lowers her sunglasses and winks at her, and then leans against the wall and folds her arms. So what's up?
Apparently, some strange thing in the sewers that might be caused by the Garou. But as I was saying, it doesn't matter if it is associated with the Garou or not. If it is causing a potential breach, we need to try and do something about it.
Well, I wasn't saying that it was our concern. I was merely saying that I have seen things that have multiple mouths, so therefore it might be one of those.
I
But
think there is a more important problem going on here. It seems that the Nosferatu in New York have been lacking in their security. Do we know of any Nosferatu in the city?
I brought Mr. Dales along for that specific purpose.
Sorry.
It is his clan.
Victor will actually hold his arms, or his hands, leaning closer to Alex. Please enlighten me, Mr. Dales. How is it so that Clan Nosferatu, these creatures, sooner, whatever they are, or this particular mayhem, and why have they not intervened?
as I am to say, we do not inhabit all the sewers. We may be in any sewer, but not every sewer. And
Interesting.
it is not our responsibility to maintain every sewer. But I have to say,
Apologies. It is not your responsibility as Clan Nosferatu. Typically a clan that resides in the sewer system. In many
And that
cities.
claims them as domain, and domain is under the responsibility of the person claiming it.
right.
And you say it is not your responsibility, even though you
We
claim
have not.
ownership.
Alright, me, personally, I have not claimed any sewer as my own. I do not speak for the prince.
But you are the representative of the clan, are you not?
Right. What I'm saying is, we can only monitor those sewers that we inhabit and keep track of.
I think what our new friend is saying, she looks at the stranger who she hasn't been introduced to yet, is that it's not just a case of you haven't seen something lurking about in the shadows. It's fucking there's dead bodies and mutilations and murders going on down there, and Nosferatu haven't noticed or done anything or.
And didn't you say that there were things that you already knew, that there were things with amounts of mouths?
Yes,
Yeah.
you said something about Garou in your domain. That sounds like a problem to me.
Well, if the Garou take up residence, yes, I will take up an issue with that. But if they are merely passing through, I'm not going to bother them, especially when it's 3 against 1.
And in Mr.
Apologies.
Dale's defense, or in Clan Nosferatu's defense, I think that since there are but so few in the city, it is rather difficult to keep track of everything going on.
Uh,
That goes for all of us, actually.
Perhaps then, Clan Nosferatu needs to relinquish their hold over the until they get more strength, more security, so that the whole city, the whole of Camarilla, can aid in the regards of the defenses. Because if things can go, that is a problem.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we merely lived down here because no one else wanted to associate with us and we could find our own little place. If someone wishes to dwell in the sewers, please, I will find a nice spot for you.
Mr. Dales, no need to get upset. They are valid questions that are being asked. And besides, in other cities, sometimes gangrel choose to stay in the sewers as well. It's a very important part of the city, and it should be guarded. But maybe we need to look as the Camarilla, see how we can defend this part of the city to the best of our abilities.
You know, Ghost sort of takes off her sunglasses and looks at Rose, who's being rather diplomatic in the situation, which is a blessing. And the brass tacks of it is, Alex, is that if you're letting the werewolves walk around down there, no fucks given, then who else is walking around down there, no fucks given? And it's right under where we're living. That's what I'm worried about.
That's the thing. It wasn't like I was not giving no fucks giving. I did follow them until they approached the area which I spoke of. And I attempted to intervene to help them even to fight these monstrosities, which I must say I did not. If it was not for the backup from the Geru, I probably would not have survived. The point being here is the sewer system is a large place, and I think we have done a reasonable job of it with the manpower we have.
Well, there's one thing that we actually mustn't forget in this situation, and that is that the sewers have been plagued with leftovers from the Sabbat.
Yes, I do believe that New York has not been a Camarilla city for that long.
No.
Is the sewers well, are they safe for the Nosferatu of the city? I mean, obviously they're not, but
Not all parts of them are, as far as I was led to believe.
But what I'm saying is, are you able to return to your haven safely?
I am.
And the others?
I cannot speak for Mr. Silas and
No, it would
Goblin,
be foolish of you to speak for the prince.
Right, or Goblin, because I do not know where they haven. I have tried to get into contact with them via a personal way, but they have not gotten back to me. A big thing with it is I have not been able to reach Goblin. He does not confer with technology. He confers by animal. He has not gotten back to me yet. I can only assume A, the message keeps getting interrupted by these annoyances in the East Tunnel, or Goblin is retreated with his retainers so that they do not get harmed.
As far as I know, Goblin does not live in the sewers. So I think it can be safe. I'm not 100% sure, of course.
What about Mr. Silas?
You presume too much. I do not know Mr. Silas's location, but I do know that he is very well informed of everything what's in the parts of the sewers that he uses. But if he has his haven there, I cannot tell.
I severely doubt he has only the one.
I'm pretty sure he has more.
Perhaps we should, however, look into ensuring that there is an emergency haven available should the Nosferatu be unable to return underground. I can make one of the floors of Ventry Tower available to them.
I think that would be a very wise course of action.
I'll see about setting that up.
But for now, let's focus on this problem. We can't solve everything.
Yes. First, we need to fix this particular problem that was not dealt with, sadly, sooner. So, there is something. That is our assumption. There is something in the zoo. Unwatched, unattested, that at times makes workers disappear. Or they surface, but with fewer body parts. So it's a creature, whatever it is, with an appetite.
If we go to the place where we found something, I might be able to sense some things. I do not suppose we have any kind of evidence in our possession other than a video.
I have just heard tales from my workers.
Well, I can take you to a survivor. As you can see, his wounds are healing, but there are bite marks.
I was wondering, the fact that the sewer workers' complaint has not gone public, is this mostly due to our part, or is it someone else in the city?
I am not certain.
About what in particular?
I have encouraged the continuance of the quiet about this particular matter, but I was not responsible for it. Mr. Dales wondered whether we were behind the absence of news regarding the attack on the sewer worker before the pipe burst.
Well, I encourage my workers to stay away from the locations where they were getting missing, some of them, if possible. But apart from that, I have not silenced any lips.
Do we know whether that pipe burst was a accident or bad maintenance?
I don't know, but if the maintenance workers keep going missing, bad maintenance is to be expected.
Of course. I was merely thinking if something with a lot of mouths just snapped its mouth in the wrong direction and made the pipe to burst, then that would give me a stronger impression. So I would like to inspect the burst of. I would like to inspect that particular pipe.
If you point it out on a map, I can lead you there. I may not have been in every sewer personally, but I have memorized the official layout of the maps.
Question,
I don't
Mr.
believe
Daniels.
the
Yes.
Have you have any idea where this creature, or creatures if they are multiple, where they have been roaming, mostly?
Does anyone have a sewer map of where the accidents and attacks have been? If you can point out where it has happened, maybe I can come to some conclusions.
No concrete evidence. Okay.
No.
Storytelling.
well, you
Sorry, Deborah.
well,
Storytelling
you
note that if you have animal companions, do you have any animal companions that go around in the sewers, Alex?
No.
Never mind.
The only person who does, I believe, is Goblin, or maybe the Prince, but I'm not sure of that.
Then you know nothing.
Okay.
what I was going to say is, well, where did you see this thing before?
Damn it. They never did tell me on a map like where it happened. It was it was in a part of the sewer. It seemed to be addition, as if the addition of these sewers was some sort of maze, and it looked like it was added to make a laboratory or holding area for specimens.
Lisa, presumably you would know ST-wise whether these things are happening anywhere near the underground lab that the werewolves were dealing with, that the Black Spiral Dancers set up in the sewers.
Yes, but it's more extensive than that now. It's more
So
spread.
the early attacks were near there.
Yeah, the early attacks were near that area, yeah. If you know where that area is.
Oh dear.
Because Alex would know where that area is, but, I mean, have we got a map of where the attacks were?
The attacks start...
No, I meant in character, do we have a map?
No. Do you have a map of the sewers in character?
We're in a library.
I don't think they have. Not, not, most likely not up to date, because usually you have to go to City Hall for
Mm.
Well,
that
if
sort
it's
of
not
thing.
up to date, then that's not the important thing. It should still be close enough to give us a rough idea.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you want to, I suppose you want to go out looking for a sewer map in the library. That's possible.
I think so.
It's a public library, so you know.
Maybe make a dice roll for it, like Perception Academics or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
While people do that, I think we can take a quick detour or look at the front entrance. Limey, are you there, mate?
Up in here, boss.
Alright, boss. Alright. So Limey has been told that he needs to meet with a blonde, tall man at the entrance of the Epiphany Library. However, when you get there, there is no one there.
Okay, I look around. What is around me? Limey kind of stands there in his dark grey suit, with his hands buried deep into the pockets, kind of peering around.
What's there? The entrance, which is closed as far as you can see. Windows. No tall, blonde, German, Scandinavian guy lurking about.
In that case, I'm going to walk straight into the entrance.
Alright, you try the front entrance. Locked.
It's never easy, is it? He kind of pulls out his phone and goes to give Victor, aka Saul, a text. And then he puts it away. And he looks around the building. Are there any windows ajar?
Not that you can see. It takes a little while. You send the text. After a while, after some person gets a text, Victor gets a text. Well, what did his text say?
Oh no, he doesn't text him. I'm looking around.
Cool.
I'm looking around the building for an entrance. Do you want me to roll anything? Is there any way I'm going to find a way into this building other than to text the German?
I mean, of course you can find another way in if you want to. Probably if you walk around the library, you'll see a light on the second floor. So yeah.
But yeah, so there's somebody in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes, you can find one. It's right. Oh, cool. Okay, can I use Streetwise to try and find somewhere to open up?
Sure. As you're doing that, though, perhaps make a perception alertness check first.
I should just text him, really. It's been a while and I want to show off. Yeah, one success. Perception alertness.
Actually, what's your awareness? Is that the same amount of dice?
Yeah.
Alright. It's not your alertness, but more your awareness that sort of tingles. And you turn around and look in a general direction. You can't really see. But you have the you have the feeling like you're being watched, and you sort of instinctively hold your hand out in front of you, as though better to see better.
Mm-hmm.
There seems to be a red dot on your hand, pretty much around the area where your head was.
So, oh, nice. Mine kind of tingles with the dot for a little bit, like just sort of plays with it on his hand, and kind of grabs at it. And he looks for where this.
It's from a laser pointer.
I know it is. Yeah, he's playing with the laser. I look for the direction of where this laser pointer is coming from. Looking at it from my hand, where is it coming from? In front of me.
On a rooftop.
Okay. Perception at the rooftop. 2 successes to see what's on the rooftop. I'm assuming it's a man with a gun.
It's a man with a gun, yeah.
I look at him. Wait. Don't want to do that, pal. Does the laser move?
It takes a little while, but eventually your phone rings.
Okay, cool. Evening.
Good evening. Is this Mr. Limey?
Who wants to know?
The man currently pointing a gun at your head. Potentially.
Good. So, why are you pointing a gun at my head again, man?
Because you are late, Mr. Limey.
Yes, I am late. Though, the last time I checked, it's rude to point a gun at somebody's head for being late. Now, are you going to come down and open the door, or am I going to have to pull out my other phone?
I will check with Mr. Kuchler if you're still allowed in.
Good boy. Be sure to get back to me.
Up. Some back and forth. Meanwhile, inside there's going to be a call to Victor. Yes. Yes, Franz. You're a very good boy. Yes, open the door for the good. Good. And yeah, eventually there's going to be a guy just in a sharp suit, sort of like appearing out of, well, not nowhere, because you know roughly where he was. Just walks over to the door, unlocks the front door, and
Oh, cool. And is this the man that was pointing a gun at my head, or is there a laser dot pointing at me?
as far as you know, there's not a laser dot currently pointing at you.
Hello, are you the gentleman with the gun?
The meeting is on the 2nd floor at the Eastern European section.
Alright, fine, but tell whoever pointed that gun at me not to do it again or they'll regret it. Dig. Walks past, walks into the room, walks into the library, and he walks up to the 2nd floor.
You can almost hear the man shrug as you say that.
Yeah.
Right, sorry for the detour, guys. Continue.
Well, Rose has found a map.
Yeah, Rose will just be walking back towards the Eastern European section. holding a big book and carefully placing it on the table, flipping it open. It's like, well, here in the end, you can find a rough map of the sewer systems. It's dated
Alright.
from 1940s.
This is a little old, but it gives me a good layout to show you. This is where the lab happened. If you could show me where the attacks happened, we can see if there's any correlation and how this might be spreading.
Well, I only know of the one, but I believe it happened round about here. And she'll point to where the guy was attacked, which is presumably quite close to the centre.
Yep.
So she's pointed just next to the lab.
Oh dear. And what about you, Bram? Saul. What about you, Saul? Where did your workers get attacked?
Sword Teller? I don't think I've been given a specific location, but he'll
But yes,
point at a
it has
general.
been working out from there.
Yes, the attacks. There are 2 other reported attacks, and they have happened significantly further along the map, away
Alright,
from
yeah.
where the lab's located.
Okay,
out.
and just one more thing. And where is the burst pipe happen on the map? Does that seem to go further?
It's a bit further and to the east of the lab.
We'll probably be able to see that there's a epicenter where presumably one of the first attacks happened. Then it's starting to spread.
Yep.
Alright. Now, is this a spreading motion or more of a line?
It's a sewer system. I'm quite sure it'll be a line.
Okay.
But that depends on if it's one creature or if it is more than one creature from the lab. If there's more than one creature from the lab, they could have gone down different pipes in different directions. I think what Alex is asking.
There seems to be a sort of 4-block epicenter, and then the rest of it is a less of a danger zone.
Okay.
But the 4-block epicenter is around the lab.
But the spread, is it in all directions or in one direction? Basically, does it look like one creature has escaped and headed off, or that a lot of creatures have escaped and headed in different directions?
It's in all directions. It's like
and I don't think you can discern from attacks whether it's one or multiple.
Well, no, but you can discern the likelihood. It could be heading out in a spiral, but that's unlikely. If it's heading and it's continuing moving, then it's likely to head along one line, if you see what I mean, and out and away.
You don't know that.
I know. I'm just saying it's likelihood.
There's a lot of assumptions. There's a lot of assumptions that you cannot make. You cannot make an assumption whether it's 1 or a million, because you have separate reports and there is no timeline specifics between.
Yes, I'm not saying we can say that it definitely isn't. I'm just saying that if it had been a line, it would be a lot more likely to be a single creature, and if it is a spread effect, it's more likely to be multiple. But we don't have enough to go on to be certain.
Also, this is kind of getting very OC, so let's go back into the character.
Okay.
The door opens, Limey walks in. Is that okay?
Yes. And Victor will walk towards Limey. Ah! Boss!
Boss. Limey looks agitated. Okay. I don't mean to start this meeting off with a bad flare, but one of your boys points a gun at me again. I swear to God, I will bring the wrath of the prince down on his head like that, right? And that's going to look real bad on you, you dig?
First off, Amy, you are late to a meeting.
Oh, I'm late, so a gun gets pointed at me.
You might be an unwanted guest. Does not know you.
He was still pointing at me when he found out my name.
Was
Very
he?
rude. I do apologise, Saul. But, really, that happens again, you and me are going to fall out big style.
I don't think you want to do that, Amy. Please,
No.
calm.
Good evening, Limey. How have you been?
Evening, Rose. I was fine until some long prick pointed a gun at my head from the top of the building. Very poor form. Very poor form indeed.
Unfortunately, I think your night is likely to get worse rather than better. Apparently, the Garou had a laboratory of some kind under the city or something like that, and the Nosferatu
Sounds
did nothing, and now it is heading everywhere.
No.
Wait.
The Garou did
Time
not have.
Guys, grab.
That laboratory stuff, that is out of character meta knowledge that you cannot use at the moment.
No, Alex said it.
Did he? I
He
don't think
said-
he's...
He said
I
there was
don't
some
think so.
strange kind of laboratory thing, and he also said that he followed the Garou to get there. He said it earlier in this scene.
Cody?
Is that true, mate? Alex?
Yeah. I did say that I had followed the Garou, and
Yes. And Sheridan was coming to the wrong conclusion that the Garou actually set up the laboratory or
and
something.
I will make a clarification when I get a chance. Lady Sheridan, these Garou did not set up this. I had a talk with them. They find these creatures quite offensive to their ideals, and this is not their doing. Have I, as a warden of the werewolves, have I made that clear?
And she'll raise an eyebrow at his tone in that. So, there is a laboratory that the Garou had some connection to and disliked, and now there are escaped things that are causing havoc and attacking the sewer workers.
Well, fantastic. No matter how hard we try to cover the masquerade, there always seems to be someone willing to tear down that delicate facade.
Things
What
with
are we going to-
multiple mouths and thus multiple teeth and different teeth marks.
Right, so what are we going to do about it?
Well, Limey, we are going to do what the Camarilla always does. We are going to fix the problem.
As much as I realise you and I are on particularly good terms, I do like your sentiment. So, down to business. What have we got in stock? Have we found where the attacks are centralised? Where this lab is?
Roughly, yes. Round about there.
So, okay, where does she point to on the map?
Just where it was, which is about 15 minutes walk in the sewers from Central Park, so it's in Manhattan.
Okay, so is it nearby where this this pipe burst?
The pipe has burst quite a little way away from it, but it's definitely a sign of it spreading.
So what we really want to do is get down into this lab and have ganders.
And if, as you say, the Garou oppose whatever is behind this, and you wouldn't have survived the encounter without them, this is a glance to Mr. Dales, we may wish to try and involve some of them.
Oh, God.
Why?
What the
Because
Germans...
we
Well-
might not survive dealing with these creatures.
I have a question. How, what, if you were to combat these things up close and personal, how well are you at surviving acid blood, Limey and Ghost?
Now what? Surviving acidic blood?
Yes.
What the fuck are you talking about, Alex? Just
Yeah,
go
what...
for it.
Limey looks at Ghost and he's like, yeah, what Ghost said. What the fuck are you talking about, man?
The creature that I saw these Garou take down bled acid.
Again, we're speculating about what this thing is. We don't even fucking know until we go and have a look.
It might not even be the same thing,
This
Mr.
is
Dales.
true. I am just saying,
Are you questioning my ability to deal with things in a combative capacity, Mr. Dales? Because I don't think you fucking know who I am if you're worried about that shit.
honestly, after what I saw down there, I question everyone's capability because I saw something that looked like a T-Rex down there. Some
Alright.
sort of monstrosity.
First off, Mr. Dales, this kind of information would have been helpful sooner in the conversation instead of just now.
Well, it looked like it was stuck down there, and plus, the thing that they killed didn't look like the T-Rex. Anyway, I'm just saying, they had a lot of them down there. I seem to... the T-Rex one didn't come up because it didn't seem like it had multiple mouths, so I didn't bring it up. Sorry. I'm just saying they have a lot of things, big and small, down there, of various shapes and sizes.
Mm-hmm.
So why the fuck? We're going back around to this. We're going back around to it because it's pissing me off now. If you know that there are things with lots of teeth down there, if you know there are things that look like fucking T-Rexes down there, why hasn't anyone said anything about this? To me, to the sheriff, to the prince,
I was
to
with
Limey,
the
to Rose, to
I
anyone?
was with. Alright, right after the misadventure in the thing, I was picked up and carried to the sheriff's front door. And the prince popped up, unexpected, apparently getting in through a window, right there. And I told my story right there and there to both the prince and the sheriff.
So what you're saying is the prince and the sheriff knew about potential creatures in the sewers and neglected to tell the city. That is what you're claiming, Mr. Dales.
That's a pretty serious accusation, Mr. Dales, I can tell you that.
I can get the Garou, who was sitting right next to me, on the phone, and she can confirm what I'm saying.
Anyway, I do really hate to interrupt in such a interesting argument, but sitting here discussing who is to blame and who should be to blame isn't gonna solve this problem.
I agree with you, Rose. Now, it is a shame that the Nosferatu have not been able to protect the city from this. It is in the past. We have to move forward. We have to be strong. We have to be the Camarilla.
Exactly. So, I suppose we
We're
will.
going in guns blazing, as the young men say.
Wait, well, is that what we're suggesting? Because I'm not being funny. I didn't bring enough guns for everyone, but I can call someone.
I don't think
I'm not entirely certain if the Garou had trouble with these things that it would be wise for us to go down there. Rashly.
Well,
I
then you're of
personally,
course more than welcome to stay behind and inform the rest of the Camarilla what we are getting ourselves into. That way we will make sure that at least people will know where we disappeared off to should matters take a turn for the worst.
thing is, Lady Sheridan, we are faced with a problem, a potential breach, and it is not our place, as good members of the Camarilla, to sit back idly and wait for others to solve it.
I'm not suggesting sitting back idly. I'm suggesting finding the right person for the task.
And may I throw into the mix my tuppence, which would be to say our human influences, contacts, and allies are going to be of no use here, seeing as, well, we can't exactly send them down to investigate. I personally wouldn't trust a ghoul, unless it was a particularly experienced, particularly old ghoul. And, well, frankly, part of me's loath to work with the werewolves of this city.
If I am allowed to give my tuppence, is it, Glenn?
Tuppence, that's the one.
We should not rely on other supernaturals to solve problems.
It looks bad.
And moreover, it is a mere scouting mission. Perhaps we will meet resistance, but we are also kindred. We are stronger than some may think. We are more difficult to kill.
Okay. I agree that a scouting mission would not be unadvisable, but if we do encounter any of these creatures and they do not seem easily overpowered, can I trust that you will flee instead of try and nobly sacrifice your lives?
I heard
If we can, yeah.
noble sacrifice.
I mean,
Okay.
it's not like we're going to get into a fight and then be like, sorry, big T-Rex, we can't actually fight you right now, we've got other shit to do. So, yeah.
I know. I'm just saying, I don't want you to stay and fight a losing battle.
Mate,
Understood.
Sour, you can be guaranteed that I'm going to run my ass out of those sewers.
Amen to that.
Now, I suppose our best course of action is to prepare for potential obstacles we might have to come across. If I can make a suggestion, perhaps we can start at the last problem, where the last problem arose, and go from there.
Well, Rose has expressed interest in the place where the sewer burst happened, because she feels that maybe she can get a idea of what it was from the pipe, given that it may.
The last place where we found an attack will be just as fine, maybe even better. Because there will be some strong auras there for sure.
So, I will lead you wherever. I assume you guys have some equipment for such a voyage or quest.
I mean, a change of clothes would be alright, but I mean, if you're talking about weapons, yeah, we can get our hands on some, yeah. Me and Ghost have got our heads together.
Not only weapons, I would advise some body armor.
Body armor's a little harder to get hold of, my friend. I mean, I
If
can
you-
see what my contacts have, but, you know, might take an hour.
If you whatever you can get your hands on, get your hands on.
Sheridan is
Okay.
going to try ringing the sheriff.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to ask, I mean, I suppose Bram and Lisa, because I know they've both ST'd before. With Street Influence 5 and Underworld 3, I should be able to get my hands on some body armor and
Yeah.
weapons. Is the
have
body
you-
armor possible?
Have you used any of that this week?
Nope.
Then don't worry about it. I think with Street 5 you'll be able to get some for a very good price.
Okay, Limey turns to Ghost and he's like, alright, so I know who I'm going to call on the street front. I'm going to get hold of the Royal Russians, but should we go via the Russians or the Sicilians to get the armor?
I'll speak to Helena and get her to get me some her boys some of my. I'll start again with that sentence. I'll speak to Helena and ask her to have her boys send us some armor.
In that case, I will get on to my man in the Royal Russians, and I'll get him to send down some artillery. What are we talking? Shotguns, submachine guns? What do you
I
mean?
don't think we need to go too crazy. I don't want to be firing around live ammo in a possible methane situation.
Well, the biggest problem that you usually face when you are in small enclosed space is sound. Sound travels and it makes for very loud noises. It attacks and it deafens.
In that case, I will get hold of some silenced. I reckon I can get some silenced MP5s for a very good price. However, I am going to roll for that because silencers are very specific.
All right.
Meanwhile, I'm going to make my phone call, if that's okay.
Just one sec. When Limey mentions artillery, he's going to say that I did take a few shots at
Roll.
something.
Huh?
And I did take a few shots at this thing with a. Let's see here. I have a. Put on here.
Limey's. It says, wait, yeah, you took a few shots at it, and what?
With a rather large pistol, and it only seemed to upset the creature. So I just wanted to make sure you were bringing something a little heavier.
Well, I'm not being funny, boss, but if you want an anti-tank rifle, go to the military. Shotguns with silencers, that's difficult. I mean, I can get my hands on some SMGs with some silencers. Bram, can I get shotguns with silencers? Or Lisa, can I get shotguns with silencers? Is that
Is
something?
there such a thing?
There is.
Shotguns with silencers kind of negate the whole shotgun idea.
Here's an idea. I'm bringing a cello case that's going to be very, very quiet, but very, very effective.
Oh god, he's bringing a
Yeah.
challenge.
So I'm
Don't
going
get
to
me wrong,
be.
there is such thing as a shotgun with a silencer, but that's just a thing. Unfortunately, the sky is blue and the grass is green, and that's something that exists. If it's a stupid idea, you can't really, because they are, I mean, it's rare as rocking horse shit. They're not really.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to get that. You can probably pick up some light machines, some SMGs, and maybe an assault rifle or two, and some.
But will I be able to get a silencer on it? That's what I'm asking. Because SMGs, dime a dozen, I can get those, but.
Yeah, you won't be able to get shotgun silencers. That's just odd. I've never. If you
Listen,
you maybe get them made, or maybe someone your contact could source one in like a couple of months. But it's just kind of a weird thing. I doubt you'd be able to find it that quick.
no, that's what I'm saying. That's, I mean, shotguns with silencers. I mean, it's a pretty rare thing to get. I know. I'm not arguing that. Right? I was just asking if it was possible to get it. So it's cool if the answer's no. But you know,
I think for the sake of sanity, the answer to that one should be no.
I really don't know. But yeah, cool. In that case, yeah, when we head outside, there will be a car with some guns in it, hopefully.
Right. My phone call.
Hi.
Hi. You know I sent you that text about a crocodile in the sewers? Seems to have been a bigger problem than I thought. Apparently there's some laboratory down there.
What?
And things have escaped from it. At least that seems to be the impression we're getting from the various bits and pieces we're putting together. The Nosferatu said that you and the Prince already knew about this laboratory.
We got information from an outside source that this could be a thing, but we were never able to ping it down to one particular location. Just tell me, what is the situation like right now?
Well, it seems likely there is more than one thing. We can't be certain, but at least one thing seems to have escaped from the general vicinity of the laboratory and be spreading its area of attack. Currently about 4 blocks is in the danger zone.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if you heard, but there was a pipe burst involving body parts, which is on the edge of that area. So we can tell that this is expanding.
Right. Understood. We're on a bug hunt. Coming heavy?
I presume so, but if... I'm just wondering whether any of your contacts might be able to help on this. Apparently the others think that it is a bad plan to involve the werewolves, but if it is something to do with them and they oppose it, well, let's just say I'd rather have their claws on our side of the issue.
Okay, at this moment, I'm going to go ahead and invoke my common sense merit to let the ST tell me what I should be doing in this situation.
Lisa.
Yep.
Yes. What was the question?
I'm
Uh,
invoking
Me,
common
everyone's the best.
sense merit. So that
Sorry.
you can tell me what Frank Green would find most commonly sensible to do in this situation when proposing the idea of bringing, you know, his werewolf buddies.
You want to bring werewolves to the sewer?
I'm using my common sense right now and presenting it to you. What would be most sensible?
Common sense. A lot of vampires, a lot of werewolves in an enclosed space. Do the math.
There you go. That's all I was asking. Thank you. Sheridan, you'll get the response back from Frank Green after some heeming and hawing and saying, nope, we got the situation in the wraps. We don't need to involve those other people.
Okay, Well, apparently a posse is being rounded up at the Epiphany Library. And posses are somewhat your territory, Sheriff.
If this is the last posse I do in this city, that'd be fantastic. Okay, awesome. Who else is involved? Never mind, don't say it over the phone. That's a stupid question. I will meet you there. And I'll bring in
Well,
heavy
don't
stuff.
expect me to be here. This is really not my kind of thing. I'm not the most combat-orientated.
No, but do me a favor, stay on hand in case the masquerade needs to be covered.
Oh, definitely. I'll keep my phone turned on. Keep myself local and available.
Mm-hmm.
See what you guys turn up.
Sounds fantastic.
But I rather think that I'd be more of a liability than a help down there.
Nope, understood. Keep your feet dry, and I'll go ahead and meet these policy forming at that particular library.
Excellent.
All right, fantastic. Frank, going to go ahead and turn off the phone. He'll go ahead and get one of his bags that he is known for. He's always prepared. He was actually a Boy Scout in some earlier life. Hop into the anonymous white van this time, since the black van usually causes more trouble than it's worth. You proceed to travel down to where the posse is being congregated.
Well, you'll be going to the Epiphany Library, where people are currently. Well, I suppose they're getting ready to leave at this point when you'll arrive in. So, in order to sort of speed things up, let's assume that everyone is filing out and walking. And
Getting tooled up at Limey's van.
It is parked in a nearby alley to avoid cameras and to be extra high vis. A bunch of shady individuals marching down an alley towards the van.
I think the idea is to split this scene into two parts. So we'll end this one with everyone meeting up at the burst pipe, or the sewer entrance.
Yeah, we'll probably do hunting, etc. in the meantime to save on time.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. Do the sign off, ST.
And with the vampires scattering to gather resources and to meet at their designated meeting point, we will end the scene and wait to see what waits for them below. Thank you for watching. Thank you, players, for playing.